A small chain of islands in the East China Sea has caused tensions between China and Japan to increase at a rapid pace. Both countries have laid claim to the island chain, with China naming them Diaoyu and Japan Senkaku. However, recently the Japanese government has bought 3 islands from a Japanese family for over 2 billion yen. In retaliation, Chinese people across the country have been holding protests against the purchase, and those protests are starting to spread. Around 500 Chinese protested at the Japanese embassy in The Hague on Wednesday. The demonstrators waved Chinese flags and walked from Malieveld Park in the center of the city to the Japanese embassy. A protest letter was handed to an embassy employee who promised that the letter would be forwarded to the Japanese government in Tokyo. The demonstration was organized by more than 20 Chinese groups in the Netherlands. Among the protesters were Chinese who had been living in the Netherlands for a long time, as well as Chinese students. They showed their disagreement with the Japanese claim on the islands. Leading the procession was a banner displaying the text, "Diaoyu Islands are part of China. We strongly oppose the Japanese government to buy the Diaoyu Islands." Now, the demonstration lasted for about 2 hours. The 2 main Dutch TV stations, RTL and NOS, were present to cover the protest. Now, overseas Chinese in various countries, including Italy, Switzerland, Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Zambia, staged protests against the Japanese government's so-called purchase of China's Diaoyu Islands. Now, people are also protesting with their wallets, and companies seem to be listening. For example, a map provider for the iPhone 5 rejected online claims that its application marked China's Diaoyu Islands as Japanese territory. AutoNavi Information Technology Company, which is a Chinese company responsible for the map app that comes with the iPhone 5, said it listed the Diaoyu Islands as Chinese territory and uploaded screenshots to prove it. Now, this announcement came after some microblogs claimed that the iPhone 5's app marked the islands as belonging to Japan. A poster in the city of Wenzhou called for a boycott of the iPhone 5 until Apple explained the map issue. His post encouraging a boycott has been forwarded more than 6,600 times as of Wednesday night. However, many people have raised doubts as they said that the product had not yet hit the market, and people spreading the rumor had no evidence to back the story. Yang Yongqi, who is a senior official with the map provider, told the People's Daily that all the company's maps, including the iPhone 5 app, mark the Diaoyu Islands as Chinese territory. Yang went on to say that there's nothing to indicate that the iPhone 5 has given the islands to Japan. Now, although some people are trying to hold peaceful protests or economic boycotts, some of the protesters have turned violent. Police in the city of Guangzhou have detained 18 people who allegedly committed violent acts while staging anti-Japan protests on Sunday. The suspects were allegedly involved in several violent incidents, including smashing a Japanese brand car, shop windows, and billboards, although most people behaved rationally during the protest. According to the press office of the Guangzhou Public Security Bureau, police are investigating the acts of violence and have called on the public to provide clues and evidence. Police in the city of Qingdao also announced on Wednesday that 6 people have been detained for alleged violent acts committed during anti-Japan protests that occurred last Saturday. Police went on to say that a man who has only been identified as Chi allegedly broke into a Japanese store, smashed several counters, and stole digital cameras and sneakers. Police went on to say that another 5 suspects allegedly attacked auto shops and smashed or set fire to Japanese cars. Well, hopefully police and city authorities will be able to get a handle on the violent protesters so that other protesters will be able to voice their opinions in a safe and rational way. Well, next up in our special report, we take a look at the name in the news.